In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Dear friends, whatever we have been gifted with by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most important of all that is our mind, our brain. And the mind and the brain, now it is not equal. Everybody doesn't have the equal mind and the brain, rather it is called the intelligence. And the different levels of intelligence are given to each and everyone else. Then obviously it matters how these things are developed. But initially too, because some of the children are born mentally retarded, some of the children are born mentally retarded, while another some of the children are born, with average intelligence. Still another some of these are more intelligent, and still some of these are outstanding or quite intelligent. So intelligence is really important thing, and every one of us know it. But still there is another type of intelligence as well, and that is called the emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is it is not a very old concept, it is slightly new concept. As for the intelligence of the mind is concerned, that's a very old, people know it. But as for the emotional intelligence is concerned, that's not a very old concept, and the people are coming to realize it now, and after for the past few decades only. And then this emotional intelligence, it is really important. Maybe it's more important than the intelligence of the mind. It is more important than the intelligence of the brain. And why do I call it more intelligent? Because there it has been surveys and studies have been conducted several times, and at the end of the conclusion of every study and research was that it is the emotionally intelligent people who lead the better life. It is the emotionally intelligent people who lead the better life, who enjoy more, and who are able to contribute more to the other people as well, who live a better life, who live the more enjoyable life. These people are emotionally intelligent people. So I have got an article today, which is a very beautiful article, and that article has been written and authored by Paul Bryan. Paul Bryan is a researcher, is an author, and he keeps contributing to the different types of journals, and journals obviously relating to the mind science, to the intelligence, to the emotional intelligence, and to the grooming of a person. So that's a Paul Bryan. That's little bit about the Paul Bryan, and the caption of the article he has just written, which is quite a beautiful article, quite a useful and beneficial article. And the caption of this article is, accept. The caption of the article is 13 ways to become more emotionally mature. 13 ways to become more emotionally mature. Will I and you like to be more emotionally mature? Definitely, definitely. It is really great to become emotionally mature person, because only then we can lead a good life, only then we can lead an enjoyable life, and only then the other people can benefit from us as well. So there are 13 ways to become more emotionally mature. First of all, the first way he writes is that accept the importance of emotions. We need to accept it, that emotions are important, more important, very important in our life. Cannot afford to overlook them. We cannot afford to overlook the emotions. These are so important. And emotions in general, and then emotion in particular. What type of emotions am I feeling, experiencing now? Paul Bryan says that identifying it is very important, and then obviously, repressing it or ignoring it. The more important point, the most important point out of all, this first thing is that never ever ignore your emotions, never ever repress them, never do this, because it will be really bad. Paul Bryan says accept the importance of emotions. Number one. Number two, face childhood trauma. If at all the childhood was a traumatic one, so we need to we need to face it. We don't have to run away from it. Face the childhood trauma, if at all it was. There are abusive, some of us, maybe many of us, are having abusive childhood. We were abused, we were ignored, we were mishandled. If this be the case, I think that we need to face it. Don't need to run away from it at all. And here in our country, in our society, obviously there is a lot of ignorance. And but even if at all we travel to the Western developed countries, we will come to know that some of the children were ignored and they were mistreated, mishandled, and they were abused as well. So, but here in our society, obviously, because of the lack of the knowledge, it is far more, common. And as for the ignoring the children is concerned, abusing and mishandling of the children is concerned, mistreating of the children is concerned, and now we need to face it. We need to face it positively. Obviously, we need to face it in a positive manner, and it is faced childhood trauma. Number three, Paul Bryan writes, make peace with your parents. Make peace with your parents. We obviously we should take it as a responsibility of we ourselves, that I do have to make the peace with with my parents, with the other closest family members. I need to make peace with them. That's very, very, very important, because these are the closest people, and if we don't make the peace with them, we do have to suffer a lot, because we will never be able to become emotionally mature or normal person if at all we don't make peace with our parents. Number 3. Number 4, Paul Bryan says, look at your attachment style. Look at your attachment style. In each of the case, how was I treated by this person? What was my attachment style with this particular person? What was my attachment style with that particular person? What was my attachment style with my mother, with my father, separately? And then overall, what was my attachment style? The way I was relating myself to them. It might be right, it might be wrong, whatever it is, you know. Paul Bryan says, look at your attachment style. And obviously, we have to become unbiased. Now, let's go to the next point. Paul Bryan says, know when to take a break. Taking the break, it is very important. Taking the break is very important. And when we need to relax, we need to watch a movie, I need to go out for the walk, and taking certain relaxing, rituals, whatever it could be, you know, know when to take a break. Know when to take a break. Yeah, what is important here? Know when to take a break. And number 6 is handle stress without offloading it to others. Some of the people, they are feeling stressed. What they do is that they victimize someone else, someone who is close, someone who is powerless, someone who is weak. Offloading, could it be spouse, could it be the children if at all they're younger, could it be employee, could it be any other person? But that's wrong. Excuse me, that's very bad. Avoid stress, handle stress without offloading it to others. We need to handle it. Instead of offloading it to others, we need to handle it. How to handle it? Let's go forward and look upon other things. React less impulsively. React less. And sorry to say that, returning to the point, handle stress without offloading it to others. How can we do this? Like, going for the long walk, watching a movie, or exercising, whatever we can. There are certain similar ways that we can release our stress. Now the next is react less impulsively. We don't have to react impulsively. What is that? Whatever comes to our mind first time, don't say that, don't do that. Wait, let's the next version, next option, next style of reacting. appear in our mind. Still wait. Wait for the third option, for the third modified option to appear in the mind so that we could react more maturely. Okay. React less impulsively. Sidestep the good bad binary. We say this is good, that's bad, but there are other options as well. Apart from being good, apart from branding something as good or the bad, there are other options as well. We are talking about emotions. Okay. Then it is number 9, avoid focusing on blame. Some of the people, they are always throwing blame upon the other people. In certain situations, they choose a person and they start blaming that particular person, that particular situation, that particular country. That's bad thing, bad thing, bad thing. You will never come to a solution at all. You will never be able to find a solution if at all you are focusing upon blaming. Avoid focusing on blame. That's wrong thing. Number 10, Paul Bryan says, admit your own shortcoming. Important. We do have to admit. If we don't admit our own shortcoming, are we still emotionally mature? Not at all. All the 13 of these things are important. None of these is unimportant at all. So that was the number 10. Number 11, Paul Bryan says, stop trying to fix other people. Stop trying to fix other people means that we are seen fixing other people. If at all somebody has to be fined, somebody should be fined who has done the wrong thing, instead of fairly and squarely investigating the issue, we have decided that we are going to focus this, we are going to fix this person. Absolutely wrong. We are not emotionally mature if we do that. Be patient, try to understand the situation, and then only come up with the right sort of conclusion. Who is responsible, to what extent they are responsible. Number 11. Number 12, Paul Bryan says that find an inspiration to follow. Means some of the people I like, and we are of the view that they are the good people, they are the right people, they are reacting and acting in the right manner. So why not to seek the inspiration from them? Why not to learn from them? Why not to think that if he were in my position, what he she would have done, and why not to contact those people, and why not to seek the advice from those people? That's what is written here. Find an inspiration to follow. Number 13, and the last point is, stop striving for perfectionism or to be a good person. Perfectionism. Some of the people who want to be perfect, they never decide and they never act upon their decision. They never reach a conclusion. They never do anything else. So we don't have to be a perfectionist, and we don't have to mean people pleasing. That should be stopped, and we don't have to we don't have to striving to we don't have to strive to become a perfectionist. So these are the 13 points, beautifully written, very important indeed, by the Paul Bryan. And now a quick revision without explanation. You know, First is accept the importance of emotion. Second is face childhood trauma. Third is make peace with your parents. Fourth is look at your attachment style. Fifth is know when to take a break. Sixth is handle stress without offloading it to others. 7 is react less impulsively. 8 is sidestep the good bad binary. And the ninth is avoid focusing on blame. 10th is admit your own shortcoming. 11th is stop trying to fix other people. And 12th is find an inspiration to follow. 13 and the last is stop striving for perfectionism. Thank you.